And we back with another one. We here. Hey, we gonna always echo, man. It's all good. Got my brother Corey,
no, you
man.
was throwing my timing off.
You Dave, it's all good. Got my brother Corey.
I'm glad y'all work at the airport. It'd be fucking crashed ass planes.
Oh man, it'd be people jumping out
air traffic controller ever.
I'd be in there listening to whatever music I'm listening to, directing traffic. No,
Right.
not gonna be able to do it. Not gonna be able to do it. But hey, man, listen, I brought you here, man, because I respect your opinion. You know, everybody that's ever come on the show, I respect their opinion, man. The Cowboys, you know, typically how draft season work, you ain't watching 200 people for nobody. That ain't necessarily your thing, but once we narrow it down to about 15,
I drill in then, yeah.
Once you narrow it down to the draft picks and some of the best, you know, kids that didn't get drafted or whatever, you know what I'm saying, the undrafted kids, that's when you really kick in. So I wanted to have you on, brother. What's your overall thoughts on the draft class? I know the answer. I just want you to tell my people. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
All right. So for curiosity's sake, you give me what you think it is first, and then I'm gonna hit you with the answer. How about that?
Hey man,
I'm curious.
Toughness, man. Toughness.
Okay, stop. I'm stopping you. All right, there you go. You right there. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Real shit, man. First off, appreciate you having me. First and foremost, I always love coming on this show, man. But secondly, the draft to me is exactly that. We went and we lost in the trenches in the playoffs. Obviously, we looked weak defensively, and they addressed that on both sides of the ball. And for those fans, myself included, who were pissed off with the way we exited the playoffs, and with the all-in conversation we've been having in free agency, I think the Cowboys did what they were supposed to do in the draft. And they always do this in some kind of way. They look insane, and then they kind of make it look, you know, logical in the end. Yeah. And I think they did that again with this draft. Even though last year we didn't really get any productivity out of the draft, although we were excited about it. This year, I think we did a lot better in the draft with players that have high floors and high ceilings. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got guys all the way into maybe the fourth man down. Like, obviously, I think Morris, whatever his name is, Leo Fu. I don't know how to say
what the name is.
Leo Notre Dame kid, number 8. You know what I'm saying? Samoan.
Yeah.
You know, Puka cousin.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Puka them cousin. That sounds like a black man, Corey.
Puka them cousin. Him.
Yeah.
You know, they all can contribute day one if they had to.
Sure.
And I think that's the most important thing. But Cooper Beebe, love him. My favorite pick of the draft, and that's a 3rd round pick. So for my favorite pick to be your 3rd round pick is kind of crazy. Like, I love that kid.
Yeah, man. You know, just walking into this draft, and you look, Corey, man, I got to check myself sometimes, man. You know, walking into this draft, I was like, all right, man, which one of these wide receivers we gonna get? Which one of these running backs we about to spend a premium pick on before we get busy up in here? And you know, I'm fine with how the picks turned out, but the Cowboys are always gonna think differently than how I think. You know, I can have favorite players, but you know, Cowboy fans are sick of the hurt guy. Mm-hmm. And Peyton Wilson was the best linebacker on the board for me, but he had 20 surgeries and he ain't got no ACL, you know. Mm-hmm. Cowboys were mad that our will linebacker was 205 pounds. Well, you drafted one that's 230 and probably going to grow a little bit more, maybe 5 more pounds. Yeah. You know, if you look at the edge guys last year, man, Dante and Dorrance weren't really run stoppers, you know, and that's maybe why Micah had to play so much in. So we didn't have a really good run stopper outside of D-Law. Maybe they didn't take Sam all that serious last year. You know what I'm saying? But boy, if you was a Cowboy fan complaining that you were small, Marshawn Nealon rolled out the bed, what, 270? Peanut butter probably.
He gonna be 290 when it's all said and done, man.
He gonna be a big boy by the time the peanut butter gets to him, man. And the one tech Justin Rogers in the 7th round.
Too, yeah. I watched your film on him too. Good work, man. Good work.
Man, appreciate you, sir. And look, we gonna tap in with all of it, man. But just the double down at offensive line meant so much to me. You know what I'm saying? And not just because I'm an offensive line guy, but partially because I'm an offensive line guy. But man, I'm tired of getting bullied, bro. Yeah. I want to lean on people, not necessarily pass over toes or whatever, but I just want to put body weight on people, man. I want to, you know what I mean? No more 305 pound, you know what I mean? No more 298, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We got some Cooper Beebe, a big boy, man.
Yeah, he a refrigerator, man.
And him in the middle of Tyler and Zach, you got tough. You got tough. This wasn't a sexy draft, but you got tough in this draft. So now you can. So now next year you can draft all the wide receivers, running backs you want.
Oh yeah, you could do whatever you want. You could build around this core on both sides of the ball. The trenches is where it's at. And when you look at it, the thing that I'm not gonna front. I was watching the draft. I didn't jump on and start commenting on Twitter. You know, I've been reformed, man. I'm like Martin when he came back. You know, what was he, brother? Whatever his name was with the fro. I'm that guy right now. I'm trying to be calm and turn a new leaf. But I refrained from Twitter responses emotionally because I wasn't feeling the draft at first.
Sure.
But when I took the macro view and I just backed out and said, well, what do we have now?
Yeah.
When you look at a Zeke signing, Royce Freeman signing, we still have Rico.
About to thump people.
Yeah,
we are about to thump people.
We are trying to punch you in the mouth.
Yeah.
And even if I felt like we needed a thunder and lightning type of effect in the backfield, doesn't matter. There's an identity there that's forming.
Sure.
And that's something that I haven't been able to say. I've been saying it all week, but I haven't been able to say that for years. Like the Cowboys have an offensive identity.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, even though we had, I guess, a makeshift one where it was run through Dak, but I couldn't think of the last time where Dak could rely on the run game or something other than his mental prowess to win a game. You know what I mean? And I think those days are going to be over this season. I'm hoping because I can't lie. Like if Shadi is doing what I think he's doing, we're going to run power football and we're going to run right at you. Yeah. And we got guys who can all deal with their men in front of them one-on-one. And we haven't had that in quite some time. And also, last year we didn't have it at all except for Tyler.
Also, too, man, I just encourage people to watch film with this player as a Cowboy now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll say this, man, going into the draft, we were in the second round, and I knew that edge was likely. I didn't think Nealon was likely because I had a couple of edges ranked higher than him, right? But my board is a general draft board.
My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. My board is a general draft board for everybody. Cowboys got their own board. So I had the kid from Alabama, Braswell, right? I had him ranked higher than Nealon. But Braswell about 245 or so, you know what I'm saying? So if the Cowboys trying to get big, maybe they took all the sub 250 pound edges off the list, off the list, right? So now you got Nealon, who's big now, big now. Great athleticism, and you won't even really think about his athleticism till you really hunker down on that film and think about him as a Cowboy. Man, I'm looking at him, man. Whenever D-Law ready to go, he's gonna move right in, left defensive end. He played that at Central Southwest Eastern Junior College in Michigan State. That's where he played. He was the left defensive end. What'd you say?
Where he go to college?
What'd you say? Nah, he
what school he graduated?
Nah,
sound like Brother Umar.
No, he went to
where he graduated from?
That mother went to Southeastern Central Missouri.
Central Grambling.
Missouri Tech.
Yo.
Online school.
Yo, that interview crazy when you look at that resume. Like, so can you elaborate on what university you got your BS from? Your BS degree.
Oh,
you
man,
got a BS degree for sure. Funny.
But, just watching the player in Cowboy context, I'm going, oh, man, he probably going to be the next D-Law. He's probably going to be a rundown for you really early. And, hey, maybe this means Chauncey get to be full-time 3-tech or some shit like that. Like, we don't really know what the bid is going to be, right? But at least we know we at least got bigger. We let go of dudes that was kind of small and wasn't going to be good versus run. We got a dude that may not be the pass rusher you want, but at least he can turn into that guy. We got the whole season to kind of fix him, and he's run game right this second. Go ahead, sir.
There's something to that, right? When I did a lot of Zimmer film, and I know you have too.
Yeah.
When you watch Zimmer pass rushes from the backside front. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's a coverage sack guy. He likes to collapse the pocket, keep everybody contained.
Sure.
And those guys are getting sacked because of the way he runs his coverage on the back end.
Sure.
He forces quarterbacks to hold the ball longer. Even Aaron Rodgers had to hold the ball longer against him. Yeah. But he forces them to hold the ball longer and figure out what's going on. So guys like Nealon, when you mention their pass rush or lack thereof, really doesn't matter as much because he's buying you time to get there and to beat your man. You know what I mean? So that actually bodes well for him too.
Yeah. And something that they were talking about with Nealon is that he's high effort and high motor guy. So to that point, if he's coming off the ball punching the hell out of somebody, he may not win the sack early.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, to that point,
effort, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To that point, we may not be a team that get early sacks or whatever because our DBs are holding it down for us. You know what I'm saying? So maybe, you know, that's when D-Law can get more sacks. Maybe that's when Marshawn can get busy or Micah just gets there quicker. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it end up being, that you know, that ends up making sense to me. Let me ask you what you thought about Guyton though. You know, because
you know what's crazy? This is I didn't know that I didn't know you didn't like Guyton as much at first, right? So I started listening. I listened to your full breakdown of him. Yeah, you weren't wrong about anything you said. That's like everything you see on film is right. Yeah, but you know where you are wrong though. I'm gonna tell you. You're not relying on your own words, man. Traits.
Yeah. He got
what does he have that still had? A guy that he overkicks or he oversets his kick step and forces guys inside. That's what he likes to do, right? Yeah. Still is a guy who relied on his athleticism to beat you, which is why now when he's hurt, his technique is holes in his technique because he never really had it. He was relying on his lower body talent. Austin Richards is like a steel type of guy, long, lankier type of tackle that can move, lateral movement, quick feet. Yeah. And Guyton is that type of guy. He's a quick-footed, good pass blocking blocker. He doesn't finish guys. I didn't like that on film. Sure. He's not a great run blocker. He can learn to be, but he wasn't a great run blocker. But his man wasn't making plays when I was watching the film, and that was the most important thing. The guy that he's blocking is not making plays. That's okay.
That is important. That is very important. He's doing his job. Somebody was mad that I was nitpicking. Well, when we're in the draft, you're trying to differentiate 9 offensive linemen. You have to nitpick a little bit. Yeah. And you know, my whole point was, look, I hope he improves. I hope he called Duke and get all that stuff fixed out. But we ain't finna act like this ain't on film. I got eyes too. No, it's there. You know what I'm saying? And you know, if you just, hey, you ain't died, but you won the rep. But the dude beat you, but he ain't make the tackle. Yeah. On the next level, when we play against, you know, Daniil Hunter, we play against Nick Bosa and them, you know, Brandon Graham and them guys, man. Them guys ain't going to
see you playing dirty. You playing dirty chess right there. That's dirty chess. You know why? Because you named three types of rushers that will give him problems.
They'll give him problems.
Power rushers.
Power technique guys,
Power rushers will give him problems. You're right. Yeah. But he's a guy that blocks more of the Micah Parsons types because he can stay in front of you. So he's a quick-footed guy that I think when he gets the peanut butter, if he gets it, we've been doing pretty well with, you know, linemen anyway, especially first-round linemen. Sure. But if he improves and gets bigger and a little more stout before the season, I think he'll be able to handle the power too. But he got to show me that. Yeah. But you're right. A power rusher, if you put up Nick Bosa on his side, any of those guys on the side, or Daniil Hunter, they're going to flip him. But let's be honest. They getting the amount of sacks they're getting because they're doing that shit to everybody anyway.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
And that's real.
He ain't special.
That's real.
That's
real. The National Football League
going to get you too. You know what I mean? Now, when you can block them, I'm impressed, but I don't think so.
Boy, the league does not have a premium on left tackle, so that's fair. That's so fair. And look, let me just say this publicly, man, and people just gonna go back to the draft shit, and they're not gonna hear me say this. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, length is important, athleticism is important. Yeah. I just love ass whoop to pieces. I just like that shit Cooper Beebe does. And you know, people can say what they want to say about Kansas State. I showed you filming him doing it versus pros. Versus professionals, you know what I'm saying? Beebe whooping everybody.
But I'm gonna do what you did to me with Connor Williams. Remember that draft? Remember what you did?
I don't remember saying nothing. I don't remember saying nothing about positive about Connor Williams. I ain't say nothing positive about Connor.
I'm gonna tell you what you did that made it work.
What I say?
And I'm gonna see if it work on you. Same magic.
Okay, what I say?
If Guyton fell to the 3rd round and you grabbed Guyton in the 3rd round and you grabbed Beebe
in the second.
At the end of the 1st round or the beginning of the 2nd, would you be mad at that?
Nah, I wouldn't be mad at it.
So that's the same approach.
He's here now. He's here. Look, he's here. It don't matter where we drafted him.
I was like, nah, I wouldn't be mad.
It don't matter where we drafted him at. I'd have took Beebe in the 2nd. So look, just imagine we just traded back twice. Like we traded back out of the 1st round or whatever. Yeah. And if your 2nd round picks was Nealon and Beebe, and your 3rd round picks was Guyton and Lewis, what the name you call it?
Lofa.
Maris Man's Luafowl.
Yeah, I heard Foot say it, and I was like, that's what it is. I've been murdering your name for a year.
Foot's definitely ain't say it right. Don't listen to Foot.
Oh, he didn't.
He definitely said it. But look, they here now. It don't matter where we got him at. It was some people that you would rather have. That corner from Alabama, a bad boy, but you know, it is what it.
I liked the film that you did on Carson, right? That's the corner's name, kid, right?
What the name? Carson.
Wake
Forest. Oh yeah, Kalen Carson.
Yeah. But the crazy thing about this draft is this is the first time I don't think we needed any corners. And I usually want a corner. I'm usually the guy that wants to go look at the corners, right?
Yeah.
But I was surprised that we grabbed one. We don't really need one.
I think
I like who we got. Yeah. But go ahead.
I think they got corner because maybe they don't know what Trey Diggs is going to look like coming back from injury. Mm-hmm. And maybe he's competing with Jordan Lewis in the way of who's the better. If Jordan Lewis can be a better nickel guy than Carson can be a better outside guy, then that'll decide what we do with Bland, right? Because like let's just say Carson come in and tear it up. Because in real life, Carson was supposed to be a third round pick for real. He just fell that far. Right. What if Carson comes in and he's tearing camp up? He's ripping camp up. J. Lou only real on he's only real on a 1 year contract or whatever, right? And we can all agree that Bland was better not covering the wide receiver one, and he was even better in the slot. You know what I'm saying? So maybe Carson is a guy that you can bring in and compete with the idea of Jordan Lewis at nickel and Carson on the outside, because Nashawn ain't gonna beat him, and Eric Scott gonna have to show me something. But just based on the film, Carson is a much better player than Eric Scott and Nashawn right now. So
that's very true.
I feel good about him.
They weren't the log jams. Like Eric Scott was like a question mark for me, but the one who I think is prime and ready to play that role that you were talking about, like push the outside and kind of earn his way on the field, is Izzy. Izzy to me is the best defensive back on this team. He's the best on the team, and I don't mean best in any one position.
Sure,
I mean there's nothing that you can ask him to do that he can't do. Whether it be guard the tight end on third downs, play outside, inside, he's done it. Play over the top safety, box safety, whatever you want him to do, he can do it at a high enough level for me to feel that he's confident enough to start in any of those positions. So for him to not have an opportunity to get on the field, you know, maybe it's the jack of all trade effect, but I think Izzy is that guy that made me say we don't really need a corner. But I still like Carson.
Do you think Zimmer's gonna come in and take away all of the politics? You know what I'm saying? So like Izzy's gonna get a shot, Wanye is gonna get a shot, because most of these guys that got the nod, they were Quinn guys. You know what I'm saying? So you know, and then Zimmer's he's no bullshit, no nonsense, right? So Zimmer gonna walk in like, hey man, JK not better than you. and I don't even know if JK's here still, but hey man, this dude ain't better than you. Like Wanye can play, Izzy can play. Do you think those dudes are going to get, you know, reps because Zim is here now and he has no bias or no politics?
Zim is a unique guy, and that's why the pick between him and Rex Ryan, I like both because they're both personalities that they have one important thing. They're not afraid of Jerry. You know what I mean? Yeah. They have big enough personalities to be able to absorb some of that, you know, nepotism that was coming from somewhere. I don't know if it was Jerry or Quinn, but I have to give it to Quinn because to watch Izzy do what he did in the playoffs and then not play, it had to be something personal. And I don't think that was coming from Jerry. I don't think Jerry was saying, don't let Izzy play. Yeah. So, yeah, I do think a lot of the nepotism will be gone now that Quinn is gone. You know, and hopefully it becomes like a meritocracy where guys like Wanye can get on the field more because it just makes the team better. Like it didn't make sense to me for JK to get the lion's share of snaps when we watch Wanye. Some guys are just electric, you know what I mean? Stuff happens just because they on the field or just because they around, you know what I mean? That first Giants game, Wanye blocks a field goal, you know what I mean? He's covering Waller on third downs. Like he could see like the energy off of him. People were feeding off of that. And for him not, you know, get opportunities on the field was crazy. And Izzy did that for us in the Tampa Bay game. So I like both those guys. They're both firecrackers that you need on this secondary. But Zimmer, being a guy that likes smart safeties and smart defensive backs, will love both of those guys because they're versatile and they're young, feisty, and smart, and they got length. So and they can cover it, you know what I mean, like crazy. So it's always good to be talented, you know. So Yeah, I think Zimmer will come in and shore that up, and that's not just in the secondary. That's throughout the entire defense. I think a guy like Sam Williams, if you can keep Everson Griffin calm, cool, collected, when he's like a Charles Haley type,
Sure,
and so is Sam Williams. Those type of guys. I think Zim can come in that personality. He's not afraid of Sam. He's going to get Sam in order and get the best out of Sam Williams. And that just bodes well for all of us when you got a guy like Nealon, Fijoku, and all those other guys around there that are like they're dogs, man. So yeah, I love the pick. I love that coach.
I think we're in rare company that we think Mazi's actually gonna, be better next year, be okay next year. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't got no choice.
He ain't got no choice,
That's easy,
man.
That's an easy bold layup right there. Like,
man, yo, Mazi, this is your spot to take because we got nobody else, dog. We need you. We need you. But what do you think Mazi's second year is gonna look like?
I said this when we were on the roundtable. I'm glad you asked that question too, because I wasn't out on Mazi when it's one thing when you look at the stat line, and when you watched it live last year, when you didn't know he was 290, I didn't know he's 290 to the end of the season. I said, damn, 290. It was 290. 290 getting pushed off the ball with double teams. I'm not as mad at that. That's like when Osa gets pushed off the ball. I expect it. You're 290. You know what I mean? If Mazi was moving backwards at 340, I would have been upset. If Mazi was playing the way he was playing at his natural weight, and you were saying, hey, we just want you to, soak up blocks or absorb blocks so that these guys can run free, and he wasn't able to do that, which is what we know he can do, and you asked him to do it, then I would have judged him a little more harshly last year. But I didn't judge Mazi harsh last year. When I watched this film, I've seen things on film that I can build around. When you look at the Carolina game, when you look at the Giants game, both Giants games, also the Rams game, he was doing things that I like. He just didn't do it consistently enough. So I think at the proper weight and asking him to do what he naturally does, which is just soak up blocks, which is what Zim likes in the interior anyway. Yeah. Him and Justin Rogers are going to be just fine in this defense. I really do believe that. And they might both be starting side by side because that's how Zim likes to run it. So you never know what his plan is and what he's trying to do. But I think on the interior, if you're saying that your rotation is Osa, Mazi, Justin Rogers, and Chauncey, I like that rotation. I like that 4-man rotation.
Yeah, man, Brother Steven got on the radio and said, hey, man, Mazi's going to be better than he was last year. Shit, man, we're excited for him, man. I tell you what, and whenever he said, I tell you what, it's some shit coming. I tell you what, I don't even think Mazi fit Dan Quinn's scheme. I think he fits what Zimmer's doing a little better. Now, I asked that to Brian Broaddus, and Brian Broaddus thought that was cap. Do you agree with what Brother Jones has said, little bitty Steven has said, or do you think that that's some nonsense in that Mazi?
You know what's crazy about Stephen Jones though, with nobody pay attention to that? Jerry is the slickster.
Yeah.
He's a straight shooter. He don't really lie that much, man. Yeah. When you go back and check his sound bites, and his quotes,
he don't be lying for real. Yeah.
He watch what he say. Yeah. You know what I mean? And when he say it, he mean it. So no, I don't think that's cap. And I actually thought that anyway. When it comes to the way you use a Mazi, like I thought there was a lot to be said about his get off. I'm like, for what? Did they talk about Vince Wilfork's get off? I don't care about his get off. Yeah. Nobody cares about his get off. You know what I'm saying? I care about how effective he is at freeing up linebackers and the defensive ends around him. That's all you really need to be doing. If your stat line is 0, can you do that? And Mazi could have done that for us last year. So I do think that he does fit Zimmer's scheme a lot better. When you look at, just think about it. When you look at Bohanna and what happened with him, Bohanna was a viable one tech that got chased out of here because Dan Quinn don't really like one techs. He wants you to be able to get upfield. When you look at Ridgeway, a hell of a one tech.
We could use both of their ass right now. We could use them 100%. Right now.
Yeah. Got chased up out of here. So even when you look at Nev was coming on strong, and then he lost his identity here. You know what I mean? We didn't know what to do with him. Are you a 3 tech? Are you a 3-1? What are you? You know what I mean? We didn't know how to use them. So I think Steven was right on the money with that, to be honest. He's not always, but I think he was there.
I'm looking up Quinn Bohanna right now. He's with the Tennessee Titans. I'll send him next year's 7th. We need him. we need him.
I would take him.
Earlier, you said you like Rogers from Auburn. What you like about him?
Same thing. When I watched your film on him, what I just said, he frees up everybody else on that defense, man. And he can get upfield too. His get off is a lot better than Mazi's, to be honest.
Sure.
Like he can get upfield. I'm like 52 is moving to be that big. I don't even know how big he is. I think he's like 330, 6'4", 330, something like that.
Yep, right there.
Yeah, he can move, but he got a build to him that he like Mazi, where he don't look fat, even though he big as hell. He don't look fat.
Yeah.
He a big, strong dude, man, and he got a good get off. He absorbs blocks, but not just holds them up. Like he makes you work. So if he splits a double team, you still holding on to him, and he's getting upfield. You know what I mean? At the same time, it's not just I'm holding these two guys in place and keeping them from getting to the second level. He giving you hell while he holding you in place. So he creates gaps and creases for other guys. And guys like what's his name again? Lilo. We're gonna call him Lilo.
That's his name.
Lilo.
Liafa. That's his name.
Liafa. Yeah, Liafa. Guys like that, Kendricks, Micah Parsons in the A gap. Imagine Micah Parsons in the A gap lined up behind a Justin Rogers and a Mazi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They gonna take out 3 or 4 guys themselves. You know what I mean? There ain't nobody to block Micah Parsons behind that, or anybody on the edges for that matter. So I like those types of looks and the things you can do with a guy like Justin Rogers. And although, he was a 7th round pick, that's only because one tech is kind of devalued in the league right now. That doesn't speak to his level of effectiveness, though. You know what I mean? If you had to grade one techs, he's up there, in my opinion.
I didn't think the Cowboys were going to draft Beebe, because what I saw from them towards the end of the season, I thought that they was going to be doing like more wide zone things. So I saw like they had a kid from Kansas, and they had another kid from UConn, right? Haynes and Puny. And those are dudes that are like the super athletic guys. They kind of move around a little bit, stretch and all that. So I didn't think that Cooper Beebe was going to be a guy. And then I saw them drafting Tyler Guyton. I was like, okay, they're trying to put together the athlete line, which is cool. Put together the athlete line.
Yeah.
But seeing them choose Beebe, which was my favorite out of all those guys, because I value ass whoop. Seeing them picking Beebe, it made me feel like, all right, y'all about to move people. Y'all about to duo block. Y'all about to combo. Y'all about to. And look, we ain't got no zone running backs neither.
They run through your face.
We got gap hitting running backs. So
that's it.
So just tell me about Cooper Beebe. You said that he was your favorite pick. He was mine also. And what does that do for the for the run game and the offense?
I love like I said, I love whoop ass. You already know that. That's why I like Nealon. I liked Liafu. So Rodgers, all of those guys had that same trait where they're trying to win against the man in front of them. Even if you don't know what you're doing, do you win against the man in front of you? So I like that about BB first and foremost. And then when I look at his pancakes, he makes pancakes. But when I look at him, the difference between him and Tyler, I think, is pronounced, because Tyler coming out and even in the league, I was kind of worried about him when he pancakes guys and takes them to the ground. Because Tyler puts his hands on you and he go to the ground with you. Which is bad for offensive linemen around you, because you're falling into guys like Tyron Smith's legs and so on. That's bad, right? You don't want to pancake guys and roll into your man, or alligator roll you got. BB is an impact blocker. Like when he hits you, he ain't going nowhere. He get 2 or 3 guys. You know what I mean? Like remind me of Leo Collins, that clip we all like from Seattle where he blocked like 3-4 people. You know what I mean? He got that type of effect. I saw multiple plays where he would do his job exceptionally well, kill the guy in his gap, and then get upfield and tear somebody else up too. So when it comes to you saying the athletic traits, he has better feet than you would give him credit for. Like he's a dancing bear. He can move a little bit. He's not a Connor Williams, you know what I mean? He's not quick, but we saw how well we do with guys like that. Like I don't think zone blocking is for us. I think that when you have a guy like Zeke, when you have guys like Royce Freeman, when you have guys like Rico, you want to just be able to like give them some daylight and punish the guys in front of you. And in the interior of that line, we it hasn't been for quite some time. I said this, I've been saying it, and I'm gonna say it again. Hasn't been since Fredericks was healthy. We haven't been able to say we have guys on the interior who to a man can handle themselves by themselves. Our centers have been helpmates. Or Connor Williams, a guy, he's a helper or always needed help, whether it was Connor or Biadasz, both of those guys on the interior, and Hoffman too.
Yeah.
They need help, or they're a helper. So they can't. You're not going to ask them to get rid of Jordan Davis or a Jalen Carter by themselves. They not going to do it. Beebe can do that, and he gives me Kelce traits, man. Jason Kelce, man, he's a guy that's smart. His biggest flex for me was I was watching him teach classes and shit. I said, oh, he's smart. And then I was listening to one of his teammates, a guy went to the Rams, I think he did. KT, I think his name is. Forget his name. Yeah. But he was talking about how Beebe takes extra reps after practice at center anyway. So he's very familiar with the position. They're very, very versatile. So I like the fact that he's smart and he's a killer. You know what I mean? I know he would be a man that resonates with people like you and I. You know
what you mean, man? I don't know what you talking about, Doc.
Hey, man, I know where the bodies are buried. That's all. I don't know what you mean.
I don't know what the fuck that. I don't know what the fuck that is. Wait, look. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Hey,
I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
What that mean? What you come up with that one? Where'd you make that assertion, sir? You should have did some more.
I just said a smart killer.
You should have did some more research before you came out and said that publicly. I don't know what you did.
Oh man.
I don't know what you mean, dog.
I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Hey man, let's move on from that falsehood. Hey man, I ain't want to hold you too long though, man. I just wanted to bring you in and just talk a little draft with me, man. I love you to pieces, man. This is great, bro. A.K.O.Y.E Media, ladies and gentlemen, tap in with us.
Yo, why you in the show on that?
Hey, I don't know. Hey, I was going to end the shit anyway. Hey, this was.
Hey,
that was the last question.
He said, cut.
That was the last question I had. I ain't had nothing else. I ain't got nothing written down.
I'm really rolling, man. That's crazy.
All right, man. I love you, bro. Let me go ahead and hit stop on this goddamn thing.